So all you AI models,
So all your AI models.
so all your AI models
Yeah.
leveraged on other LLMs to our local people, right? Don't you think this data is foreign, and we need to build our LLMs situated in our Ghanaian context? This is Atakakra from Accra. Atakakra, thank you for reaching out to us. We're grateful for your comment.
He has a great point
What
there.
is an LLM, by the way?
Large language model.
Okay.
So all these ChatGPT, Claude, Anthropic, all those things, they're all large language
Killbots.
models. They're all large language models. And what he's saying is that these large language models were trained on foreign data. Not entirely true. They did get access to some of our data, but clearly we don't even have data on ourselves. So how do you train a bot when
This data thing you're talking about, and again, it was one of the questions I was going to ask. Added to the answer you're giving me, who is responsible for training these AIs? And I use the word training because I asked for specific data, and I've done that before. One time I was writing a report and I asked for property rates at the airport.
No chance.
It gave me per square meter, and it gave me names of companies.
Okay.
Very specific data. And then I asked it for some other data, and this was the response. It's been 3 months since I received my last training on specific data from Ghana. I said, what? Whose job is it to make that data available?
So first of all, whenever you ask questions about data, take it with a pinch of salt and verify, because the AI has been known to hallucinate and make up information when it's not sure. That's the first
The
thing
thing that we don't want to accept.
Exactly.
It's now hallucinating.
It's hallucinating. And if you have not put data out there in the public, where is the AI going to get the data from? We are not very, very transparent with our data. Yeah. You can't, for example, I could go to the UK, I can build an app, call the DVLA API, and literally match a name to a car number plate, for example. Over here, our DVLA is black box. Nobody knows what they are doing.
Oh, but they've started.
Oh yes, I heard.
They're digitizing all of the this DVLA thing. It's very good.
They need us to come back to the DVLA
kudos
our cars
to the DVLA boss
to come and register information which we've given them already.
Oh, I mean, you know that in Ghana we have
they
to
want to collect money.
How many times did you do your NIA? I mean,
I know.
But we're getting there. My point is this: that the conversation has started, and no matter how many times we're doing it, at least we're talking about it enough to continue doing it.
Yeah.
So it's good. But whose job is it anyway?
It's our job. Yeah, if we don't put the data out and make it accessible, so how do you make data accessible? For example, the DVLA should have an API on top of its database so that it can share all the publicly shareable information that we can use.
The law allows to share.
That the law allows us to share. So, for example, the like number plates, we can they could easily let us know which number plates are insured. You can, because they are giving this information to policemen.
I'm sure that they are happy to share that information.
Yeah, and that information not just shared with institutions like the police. So they need to make it so easy that a developer like me can go to their website, read their API documentation, and create an integration with their data. But the problem is they are not doing that properly. I visited the Registrar General's Department website just 2 days ago, and I'm sorry to say, I was blocked because their security certificate had expired, and you have to click on advance. When the security certificate has expired, you can't actually log into the website unless you click on advanced, ignore the policy, and then proceed to the website, which is a huge problem because that sort of data on companies that are registered, when they registered, who owns them, should be publicly available information. Given that information, if we provide that information to AI, I can say with all confidence that when you do a search in Gemini or ChatGPT and you ask it who owns Anansium, for example, it won't just reference information on the internet. It will go to the source, which is the Registrar General's Department, because that information and pick it up. But when it picks up information from the internet, it's basically what people have said, which is not always verified. So the answer to your question is we are responsible for putting the data that we want to see out there. And if we're not putting
it's just because it said I haven't received my training since 2 months ago. That's why I was a bit concerned. But this one is from Bernard in East Legon. Then Bernard says, "Good afternoon. I'm Bernard inside East Legon. I'm a web developer and I'm a website designer. And I'm using AI in my work activities sometimes. But in actual sense, it doesn't give more of preferred actions needed. It's not really reliable, but it gives you a brief overview of the inputs prompt. Okay, Bernard, thank you for your comment there. I don't understand what
I'm not sure if it's a question or a statement, but
yeah.
this is what I make of it. So
Yeah.
he's saying that he's a developer and he uses AI to code. I can comment on that and say that the AI that we use to code as developers is actually more advanced than the one that we use to write our essays and our project reports and stuff like that, because the AI has learned how to code much better than a human could ever do right now. So if he's using those tools and he's saying that it's not reliable, I wonder which AI coding tools he's using, because I can recommend, for example, Google has released an IDE called Anti-Gravity, which integrates all its latest models, including other non-proprietary models, into their IDE, making it easy for anyone to code, and it's free. It's free, so whatever it is he's using.
Let me ask this question. I remember somebody asked me last night. I should ask. I wasn't going to ask it, but is there a reason why you may not have an answer? But is there a reason why most of these famous programs that are written have interesting names?
So that we can talk about it now. And in talking about it, we promote it.
I think you answered it by answering the Black Widow question. But
yeah.
Python and things like that. I mean,
it has to be interesting. It has to be catchy.
Anyway,
what would you call it? And soon I may app or
Sunshine. But let me ask this question. It's an age-old question about AI. Do you suppose that we talk about people losing their jobs and all that, but I think in your submission you have talked about the transition and the fact that there is always a human point and there's machine learning and all that. Eventually, it makes us better. It makes us enhanced. People will still lose their jobs, because when Richard was here, he talked about the top 10, 15 jobs in the next 5 years. And a lot of mundane traditional jobs were out.
Yeah.
And I've seen a movie where I'm looking for that software. Maybe you can write it and you can share the rights with me. I saw this movie where the guy was in his office and he was thinking strategy, working, doing stuff, having meetings, and talking to an app. And the app was talking back to him. This is not Alexa level thing. And then he's talking and saying, I need to write. He says, would you like me to write a memo? He says, do that, but add this. While you're doing that, can you call Alfred? Alfred is in the window. Alfred, should we connect this person to the call? And so his work is not the mundane typing and doing memos and all that. It's high brain, high power kind of thing.
And
do you think we're going to get there anytime soon here in Ghana?
I'm going to address the one you said about employment and AI could potentially take our jobs. Listen, technology has been taking jobs away from human beings since somebody decided to invent fire. Okay? The day the farmer who was using the cutlass and hoe bought a tractor, half of his team were useless. The 100 people that he needed to weed an acre of land, completely useless.
So you are not the ones who started it.
No, we are not the ones who started it. Human beings, we are on a journey to freedom from work. Human beings, we are inherently lazy, and we are always looking for shorter, easier, quicker, faster ways to do things so that we can sit down and
do nothing.
Pretty much do nothing. So this is the journey that we are on.
That's all time will allow me. I'm sure that we'll continue next week. What should we look forward to in our conversation next week, and what's our takeout from today's conversation?
So what should you look forward to? So I'd love to next week go into a bit more detail on the nuances of integrating tools like ChatGPT, Anthropic into your business and into your workflows. What can you take away from this meeting today? So from this conversation, what I want you to know is I need companies that are listening to be deliberate about how they integrate or they think about bringing AI into their business. It's not about letting people go or taking people's jobs. It's about improving your efficiency, saving yourself time, saving yourself money. That's the first step, and you need to be deliberate about it. Don't just go and get ChatGPT and give it to your team and tell them to start writing fantastic essays. Look at your entire business process, pick up the phone, talk to someone like myself, and let's decide how we can get you best value for money for your investments into AI.
Value for money. Alfred Opare Saforo of Zulu Desk, of Anansium, and also of Black Widow, sharing some thoughts with us here on AI in business. Next week, we continue that conversation. This has been Masterclass. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you same time next